Hey everyone, it's Christy from Christy's Beautiful Life here for 30 Days of Sketches on to day 21 with this sketch from Susanna Lee, who I absolutely adore. And I'm going to be honest, this layout was going to be my big finale layout for day 30, but I am just a tiny little bit behind with days, with the sketches I had picked for days 21, 22, and 24. So because of that, I just, it was our long weekend here in Canada and I spent it with my family, and Baird is also in the middle of going through his first teething experience. So we are, like life. And so I decided that instead of stressing, and I have my layout ready to do the finishing touches on and share with you for tomorrow, what was going to be for today. And instead of stressing myself out and making it more complicated than it needed to be, I'm just going to share this really fun layout that I created that was going to be my finale layout today instead. Now, this layout is a few different things. I'm following the beautiful sketch from Susanna to start with. And then I also created this layout during the weekend for the scrap party for the Secret Not Secret Kit Club. And the theme was to use this photo that Christina provided, which was of the Northern Lights. And we were supposed to take that photo as an inspiration and create a layout based on that. And I just was so blown away by the beautiful photo that it just made me think. And rainbow, this is a little rainbowish. I'm not trying to make it rainbowish as much as I'm just trying to play with my colors and get them kind of what you'd expect to see. So I went ahead and pulled all that in. So it's also for that. And then it's also just finally documenting a photo a set of photos that I have had sitting, waiting to be scrapped since like 2017. And they were photos that when I took them, I wanted to scrap them right away, but I could never find the right way to go about it. And now that I have them scrapped, I'm so happy that I waited on them and just kept them there, kept looking at them to see if I can make them work. And yeah, I'm just so pleased that I waited. So the first thing I'm doing here, as you can see, is I am using my watercolors, and I literally touched every color in this palette and just filled in the circles. It is a messy, and it's supposed to be. And I am adding water on it so that it's nice and subtle as well. And it does get a little muddy in a couple places, but that was the part of playing. And then I'm going to take the stencil back and put it back over once it's all dried. Go in with a black Sharpie, and I'm just gonna circle and trace every single one with my black Sharpie as well so that it's got a nice line to it. And I love the way this all turned out. Like I said, a few of them turned out muddy, but for the most part, I mean, out of the however many there are, I think there was only like 5 that were muddy, so not too bad. I was pretty pleased with the way that turned out. But yeah, so that's what I went ahead and did. It did take me a little while to go about it, and my Sharpies, they're just not in the best condition, so it did take me a bit. And I could have definitely left that beautiful paper just like that and created a layout on top of it, but I really wanted to use it with this sketch, and so I am going to fussy cut out every single one of these circles. And yes, it took me a moment to do, but I didn't mind it that much. I was scrapping a lot this past weekend in the evening, and that is super rare for me. I'm not normally an evening scrapper. I tend to be really tired, and it's like the last thing I want to do once I get all my kids settled for the night is to go in my room and try to make myself be creative. Instead, I want to just sit back for a minute, have a moment to myself, or hang out with Sean for a little while, just the two of us. So very rarely do I scrap at night, but this weekend I did take kind of full advantage of the long weekend. And yeah, so I just fussy cut it out, was listening to one of like a YouTube video or two and just catching up on the videos of the day and just fussy cut them out. And now I'm laying them out in the color tones they were. I do want to keep them in the same color family so that everything's kind of mashing. I wasn't going to mix up my colors at all. I planned that to begin with. So I'm just going to kind of orient it all around. I really had to think about where it was all going to go, looking at the sketch as well, like making sure that I had just a few bigger pieces, but not too many. And then to figure out which photos I want to use. So these photos that I'm laying out right now are the ones I am going to use. But I do start with these two here, which are of my son going to the dentist. And it wasn't his first visit, but it was his first visit where he actually got his teeth cleaned, if that makes sense. So he sat through the whole thing and did awesome. So it was kind of a big event, and I do want to document it. And I was thinking I could make it work with just the two photos. But honestly, I feel like my elements of the colored circles were overpowering the photos. And that's not something I really ever want to have happen with my photos. I always, even though I can do some pretty crazy and intricate and big titles and stitching, and I do a lot to my layouts, I really do. I always try to make sure that no matter what I do to the layout, you're still going to the photos first. And that's the feature you see. And if the photos are being lost within my layout, then not that I've failed, but it's not doing the job that I had originally intended it to do. So I'm going to take these two photos away, come back with the ones of my son. And these photos are of him when he was, so these were taken probably June-ish of 2017. So that was 2 years ago. And so he was 3. Yep, he was 3. And we were at just a splash pad water park place. And he was having so much fun at this place. And there was the way that the water kind of worked is it made this type of puddle that ran around the upper part of the splash pad. And he had so much fun just jumping and then making a big, big splash. And then he would laugh and laugh and laugh and then do it all over again. And the joy he had in just jumping and splashing was so much fun. And I loved that I had gotten the series of him doing it. And so that's where they are and why I included all of these. So the very bottom photo is him crouching down so he could get as high up in a jump as possible. And then you can see him slowly starting to go up when you go to that left photo. And then he's jumping up in the air in that top photo. And then the top right, he's coming down. And then at the bottom right is where he's standing up being like, I did it. It was so much fun. And I adore these photos. He's wearing bright, colorful clothes because obviously it's summer and he's happy. And I just love them so much. So that is what this layout is about. And I had fun. Once I got the right photos for it, I had fun layering these little colorful circles around, trying to follow Susanna's sketch as closely as I could with the theme of having a nice circular pattern on the outside and my title at the top. And then I will put some journaling because I have a lot to say about this procession of photos. I'm also recording this and doing this voiceover quite late at night, so please forgive me. And it was so much fun. So I love it. That's what it looks like now. And honestly, you could leave it like that and be happy with it and go with it if you are a more simpler scrapbooker and you don't like a ton of elements on your page. But I am going to kick it up a notch, and I'm going to start by adding a little border. And this is just a piece of pattern paper I've had in my stash for a very long time. And then I finish it off by adding some color matching with some elements here. So I put a few florals, which is weird for a boy page, but it's summer and it said more summer to me than the fact that it was florals. And I add the flamingo and the word sunny and the word hot because we were in the middle of a heat wave when this happened. And I love the way this layout turned out so much. It is honestly probably my favorite layout of all of the 30 days, and that's why it was going to be the finale. But I'm really happy to be able to share it with you now, even though it's only day 21. So stick with me. I will have day 22 for you as well. And there's a look at my finished layout for today. Please let me know if you have any questions or comments, and I will get back to you. Bye, everyone.